So it's been a whole year since we've seen a new flagship device from LG, but this year LG has brought us the 5.2-inch G2. The G2 has that unique power and volume rocker at the back of the device, right below the camera, and you can see how thin that bezel is. So why don't we jump in to find out how good this device really is. Taking a closer look at the LG G2, the device is powered by a Snapdragon 800 processor clocked at 2.26 gigahertz quad core, 2 gigs of RAM. So what that means, this is a powerhouse, the first device to actually have that on the market. Now another thing to note here is how thin this bezel is. You can look and see the bezel really is just at that edge here. See if I can bring that closer for you guys to see. It's a very thin bezel. It's 5.2 inches. There are no on-screen, no touch sensitive buttons. They're actually on-screen buttons that take that 0.2, so you really have 5 inches of real estate. You've got a 1.9 megapixel front-facing camera. You've got LED indicators in the front. Now your speaker grills at the bottom here, which I do find that I have a problem with, because while gaming, my hand covers that and it doesn't really express the sound. Now, sound quality from the speakers are not that great, so I wouldn't recommend them. Sound quality of the headphones, especially with the 192 kilobyte 24-bit encryption for audio, is superb. It really sounds like studio quality sound. I mean, it's fantastic. You just have to try it out yourself. If you go to a store and you see the LG G2, plug in your headphones and just, you know, stream music or something on there, and you will hear the difference. Now, one of the main features, of course, to this device, of course, is around the back. Actually, two features. The biggest one, of course, is the fact that your power button and your volume rockers are actually right here. So they're actually below the camera and they're behind. The reason why is that LG says when you hold your phone, you actually have this finger right here resting here, which is very true. So you can easily access your power button and your volume rocker. It's something that takes some getting used to. Now, ask me, does this change what you do here? Not necessarily, but it's actually not that hard to use. I will tell you the truth, it really isn't, especially the fact that the power button is raised, so you tend to know the volume's up and the volume up, volume down is right, you know, either side. And also while gaming or watching video, it's not that hard to literally put your finger here and just increase or decrease volume. So really isn't that hard. It just will take some getting used to. Now, the other innovation, of course, is that it's got a 13 megapixel camera here, but it's got OIS, so basically optical image stabilization, which means the camera is mounted on springs or ball bearings to make sure that it's steadier video and better image capture, which we'll talk about more in a second. So because your power button is at the back, and also this acts like a camera button, especially when you want to take selfies. So imagine, you know, girls love to take selfies. This is the perfect phone for selfies, especially the front-facing camera, because you can actually press the button whenever you want to take a selfie. So that's pretty cool, you know, in that aspect. So it's also got a feature called knock. Knock basically allows you to wake up your phone without actually hitting that power button by tapping right below, close to the LG sign, and that knocks opens your device. And of course, you have quick shortcuts, you have access to your notification tray, and we can slide this open. Now, there are a couple of cool features I want to talk about. The first, of course, is the home screen. You've got what we call multi-photo wallpapers, basically meaning there's a wallpaper on each home screen. Now, you have up to a maximum of 7 home screens. So I have one, Superman, Naruto, I have another home screen, the Hulk, I have Justice League, Superman, Batman, Bleach, and Christopher Reeves as Man of Steel. So I can have multiple photos in my home screen, which is great. It's a very easy thing to set up by hitting the menu button, going to home screen settings, and then you see wallpaper. Here you can go to multi-photo, and that's the option you need. You open that up, and you can see you can go in, change either one, and pop them out. So I can go back, say, to Naruto here, who is the Hokage, change that out to something else that I want to maybe use that. That's kind of too small, but just say okay for now, just to see. And we put that in there, and we have that apply as a new home screen option. And there we have it. So it's right there. So it's a very easy option to use. It's pretty cool. The second option is actually your front on-screen button. So the on-screen buttons you see here, basically you can change the layout. That's not the standard layout for you. It's very easy. Hit home, let's go to all settings. And then we go to display. In the display settings, you have front touch buttons. This allows you to change your button setup. So I can go to a standard 3-button setup. I can go to this button setup that has a notification tray aspect. I can change that setup. I can change to whatever setup I like and I'm more comfortable with. And it's pretty cool that LG affords you this kind of functionality here. Now this is powered by Android 4.2.2 on LG's intuitive UI. So if we go to about the phone and we do software information, you can clearly see that there. That is Android 4.2.2. Showing you that right there, and that gives you what you're looking for. So if you head back just to see some of the other settings there, you do have your network settings here, tethering, you have your sound control, you've got smart ringtone, general vibrations, you've got some gesture controls here, not too much I would say though. You got things like smart screen and smart stay. Smart screen because while you're watching video that's built into the device, nothing more, you can turn away and look, and that does work. And you also have got smart video on pause. And then you've got your general settings here for a few gesture controls here, answer your phone call, snooze, alarm, things like that. Nothing really serious, nothing as heavy as what Samsung has done with their gesture controls, but it still works out pretty well in here. Now, another thing to talk about, of course, is the camera. So you've got this 13 megapixel camera, and it's actually loaded with a bunch of features here. You do have your standard camera settings here, but you also have modes. Now modes is similar to what you have with Samsung. This is the video mode, allows you for dual recording, tracking, zoom, normal. Dual recording only records at 720p, which is why I didn't show you guys earlier, because it doesn't record at the highest rate possible. Now if we switch back to to photos, these are the photo modes. You have everything from normal to time catch, intelligent photo. Intelligent photo basically means, you know, just making a collage of photos, which is pretty cool. So I can actually do that and say I take my watch, there's one photo, take this, and you can basically, you know, do a collage of photos with intelligent photo. Pretty simple there, sorry. And you have all that on there, and which is pretty nice. Well, I suggest you should check out our camera sample from the LG G2 or camera test video, and it's in the top right hand corner there. Just check out and see what the camera samples from this device really look like and how they handle. So again, as I mentioned, it has a Snapdragon 800 processor, which means this is a very good device for gaming. And if you're a gamer, you're probably wondering how well this handles. We took it through a ringer of tests, used a bunch of games that we have here on the system, and we tested it out with MC4, He-Man, Real Boxing. So check out that video, which is top right hand corner again, and see how well this handles. I can tell you off the bat that it games pretty well, actually awesome, not pretty well. No slowdowns whatsoever, no hiccups. Of course, there is some heating. Check out and find out and just see more from that video. But I can tell you overall, I really liked the gaming performance from the LG G2. One other quick feature I wanted to show you that actually is pretty interesting is called this Q slide, if you will. So if you actually go into our general settings here, or slide away allows you to save apps running. It's kind of like a multitask feature. Now, if you hold the home button, you do have your standard multitask, which, you know, every Android device has, but you can also do this. I can open up the browser and I can slide with 3 fingers, and that puts that away in app saved on the top hand corner. And I go into, say, let's see, play magazine, will that work? And that goes there. And I go into maps and I slide that, and that goes there. So I have 3 apps saved in, and I can basically just slide it out and open those 3 apps, and that's a multitask avenue, which looks cool and it's pretty nice. What I don't like is that you actually have to slide in the apps first before you can slide them out. So I wish that once you just open up an application to use, it also starts saving in that folder. And I think hopefully they can do an update to slide aside so that actually does that functionality for you. And I think that would be pretty cool. And you can see you can close applications out, you can jump back into applications, you can slide back, and that takes you back to your home screen. So if they actually added that, that would be something that hopefully they can do to, you know, improve that side. So you'll have a few built-in applications from LG. You have the Notepad, Notebook. You do have a few AT&T apps. You also have a video editor, which is pretty cool. You can see I was trying to edit a video. You have different styles. Just give you a quick playthrough of the video just to see, shows you how you can edit it, do a little flashy work, and it's pretty easy, pop, slide, drag. And it's nice to see that there's a video editor. At least you can do simple edits to your videos on this device. So that's pretty cool on there. Overall, I do like the G2. The G2 has a lot of features. It has, you can see the app tray, the notification tray here just has a whole abundance of things you can jump into, from quick remotes. It also has an IR blaster for that, so you can actually reset remote. You do wireless storage, quiet mode, rotation. You can edit your Q slide applications out, see those applications that you want. You've got this multiple home screen, so a lot of features that are packed in. So let's round up this video and give you our thoughts on the LG G2. So if you spend some good time with the LG G2, really like it, and I think this is a very solid device that will prove solid competition in the market today. It's got that nice thin bezel in the front. You've got a very solid camera at the back with 13 megapixels, as we've seen. It handles pretty well with the OIS and also low image capture. Now, a couple of things to mention. The button, of course, at the back, some were asking how well does this work. Like I said in the video, I think it's something you just need to get used to, but eventually, if this is your device, you get used to actually doing this, or actually just reducing and increasing the volume while playing games or watching a video. So I think it's something you get used to. Something I don't mind. I'd like to see more innovations in that sector where at least they do something creative with it, and I like that with LG. It's got the Snapdragon 800 processor, and it's really solid, runs very well, solid during gaming performance, and I really can't complain about that overall. So it's something I really like from the device. It's got lots of cool features, as we know, and as you can see, the multiple wallpaper thing is one of my best features, and I really like that LG is throwing that in there. There are a lot of cool things there. The only one of the downsides I don't like with the device is the fact that when you're gaming, of course, the bar doesn't disappear, the menu bar doesn't disappear, and also the UI really needs a change. Now, the UI is great, don't mind me, but it really reminds me of the Galaxy S4 UI, the TouchWiz UI. Now, some will say, yes, it's not the same thing. It isn't the same thing. It just visually looks the same way for me, and consumers might get a little confused, and I think they should take away from that. Now, in a sense, LG has a lot of features here. It's a feature-packed phone. I love the performance. I love the battery life. Battery life is solid. It's a growing standard you've seen with Android phones nowadays, where you get very, very good battery life, about 18 hours or so on moderate use. So as a power user, you're probably getting about 16 to 14, but still very good battery life overall. I really like this device, and I want to see how it competes in the market. So if you're asking me what kind of buy this is, I say this is a very solid buy. It's the only thing that puts it away from definite is if you might not get used to this, and that's not a nick, it's just a preference thing. But I really like the device, and I really like what LG has done here with the G2. So if you have any questions or any comments, let us know. Don't forget to subscribe to all our pages on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. It's all Booredatwork with 2 O's. So this is Thunder E saying thank you, and always enjoy your entertainment.